coffee is, I believe, one of the most powerful things in the world. And the fact that it started there, it was almost like it was an outpouring of the heart of the world happening for the people from Ethiopia. So thank you. Thank you, Ethiopia, for sharing this gift.
Ethiopian coffees changed the game for me.
First time I tasted a Yirgacheffe was a seminal moment in my coffee career, because then I understood what flavor descriptors were all about.
I think it's the one coffee where non-coffee people can really see the difference.
Especially people who say they historically don't like coffee. I think they just haven't had the right cup yet, and a lot of times that cup of Ethiopia is the right cup.
There's so much fruit, there's so much citrus.
And that opens the door to a conversation about coffee's nature as a fruit and the discovery of coffee in the forests of Ethiopia.
That burst of aromatics is what can draw you into the cup and what can really distinguish it from any other coffee you're about to experience.
Something's going on in this cup of coffee that isn't what I'm used to. And I put the coffee down and I go, Celeste, there are berries in here. Like, what? No, there's no way this is real. And at that point I realized that everything I knew was great, but there was so much I didn't know, thanks to Ethiopian coffees.
It's just different. And even within Ethiopia, there's so many different regions that just taste different from each other.
It gave me that first understanding for what coffee really is and what it could be.
And it's always sort of like it's like a treasure hunt to find like that one coffee that I can just drink all the time, forever.
There's not one set profile for taste descriptors. They can be very light and tea-like and citrusy, but can also be very big-bodied and fruity. And
roast can really accentuate or transform some of those flavors, and that's what's so exciting about Ethiopian coffee, is that you can do so many different things either by themselves or in blending that delivers a coffee that is unlike anything else in the world.
It has a little bit of everything in it, and that's because everything came from Ethiopia in the first place. You're at the center of origin of coffee and culture and music and our species.
Ethiopia defined, continues to redefine and transcend what it means to have an experience in a cup.
Starting in coffee, I was always curious to know why coffees tasted different from one another and why they tasted the way they did, and coffees like Ethiopia sparked that curiosity and enthusiasm about it.
I consider it like a tool bag, as a tool in my bag as a barista. You know, anytime someone's coming in like, hey, I heard you guys have good stuff, like, what do you got? I just whip out my Ethiopian coffee, and like every time they're pumped.
If Ethiopian coffee was a dance, I picture a dance where there's like 100 different dancers that swarm the stage, and they're all doing different dance movements, but yet it all fits together, and from someone watching the dance, it just looks like this beautiful motion. Even though they're all doing different things, it all just kind of flows and works together.
If Ethiopian coffee was a dance, it would be all of the dances.
It'd be a very happy dance.
I think if Ethiopia were a dance, it'd be that I don't care, throwing your body around style dance. And
for me, Ethiopian coffee is less dance and more musical, because it's coffee that can really rise up and support and make all that come to life.
could be like a really classic ballroom waltz, or Ethiopian coffee could be dancing to some booty music. Like, it could be getting down too. It's classy, but it's also funky. So Ethiopian coffee does what it wants.
It would definitely be the Beyonce's Dance from Single Ladies, because it's true. If you love it, you should put a ring on it, because like, that's special coffee.
Thank you for turning so many people onto coffee as a beverage, as well as me onto a career.
Amaseganalo. Thank you, Ethiopia.
Thank you, Ethiopia.
Thank you, Ethiopia.
Thank you, Ethiopia, and we love you, and we love your coffee.
Thank you, Ethiopia, for reminding us to honor our heritage.
Thank you, Ethiopia.
I do what I do because of the adoration of what I know in coffee and what I know in the people who grow coffee. And this is the land of the beginning for us all. So, Amasaganalo.